Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Woo! Again. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Take it forward.
Here we go. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. Woo! See the light in everybody you meet. Come on. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. All right, everyone, say hello to your neighbor. Come back to your seats. We're going to make a joyful sound. Let it. All right, here we go. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody get up on your feet. Woo! See the light. Everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Woo! Now that's a way to start Elevate, everybody. No, could you please? Thank you. All right, back on the X. Woo, I haven't done that in 3 months. Thank you. The Elevate Trio, guys. Pablo Cardenas on piano, Peter Dowse on electric bass, and Kelby MacNayr on vocals and drums. And the VTC Community Choir in the Seeds. Yay! All right, so here we are for another Elevate at the Victoria Truth Center on a Wednesday night. My name is Rev.Lesia. I am so delighted that you are here, whether in person or online. Thank you for being with us tonight. So before I go on any more, I would like to know, is there anyone here for the first time tonight? All right, so we have a couple of people on this side of the room. Someone I know was really delightfully surprised to come in. So we have Marg and we have Dwight. So can we let these folks know how delighted we are? Welcome them the VTC way. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for being with us. All right, and so where exactly are we? Where did you stumble into tonight? Well, as I mentioned, this is the Victoria Truth Center, VTC for short. And we come together to do what it says on the slide here, to expand our minds, to open our hearts, to further activate our soul in community, right? I mean, this is something that we can do on our own, but when we come and do it in community, there is this amplified thing that happens that is so amazing because it's all energy, it's all frequency, it's all vibration. And so we come here to celebrate, to acknowledge, to champion, to amplify, to remind each other and ourselves that ultimately there is only one thing going on. And whether you call it love, whether you call it spirit, source, creativity, the quantum field, God, whatever it is that works for you, that's it. Everyone and everything is that. So Liz is that, Marg is that, everyone tuning in online is that, the music that we just experienced is that, the technology that allows us to hear that music across the room and across the globe, everything. And not just a little bit and not just sometimes, but every single one of us is all of it all the time. And we are the ones who get to decide from moment to moment to moment how much of that allness, how much of that energy, how much of that creativity we really want to experience. So how does that sound on a Wednesday night here at Elevate at VTC? Thank you, Tiffany. All right, so next slide, please. Let us remember where it is that we are doing all of this elevating and celebrating and amplifying. That we are on the unceded territories of the Lekwungen peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And if we take a look at this phrase that I pulled off the Esquimalt Nation's website, committed to the long-term relevance of our people through cultural study and linguistics, we keep our past alive and our future bright. And so if this isn't something that is a bit of a call to action for us to be able to do in every single aspect of our lives and in our community here that is growing, that is evolving, to remember who we are, to acknowledge who we are, to remember who everyone and everything else is, and to show up more and more and more as that in our individual practices, in our community practice, in so many different ways, so that we can experience more of the love that we truly are. And so just looking at these three terms, three words that I pulled out, commitment, relevance, and aliveness, these are just things that really stood out for me that I thought, wow, this is really, really an amazing way to steward life and living. So what an incredible invitation, what a phenomenal declaration, and what an incredible opportunity and what a blessing it is to be here now, to be able to live and breathe and work and play and co-create on these beautifully, reverentially stewarded lands. Haichka. Next slide, please. And so now we are going to move into a reflective tune. And in the middle of the tune, I'm going to offer an opening blessing. And because the blessing is going to be in the tune, we're going to finish with music. But even so, I'm just going to ask, before you applaud, let's just hang out in that magical, mystical moment for a little bit together. Okay? Gentlemen? Let's just take a few moments to breathe in all of those melodies and harmonies, all of that creativity and playfulness, just dancing around in the interspaces of this room, activating the interspaces of our being, allowing ourselves the opportunity to just lean back and submerge ourselves in this kaleidoscopic field of love, of joy, of harmony, of beauty, of creativity, of wonder and magic. And so as we open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities of who we are always becoming, what an absolute blessing it is to be in community tonight, to be able to expand our minds and open our hearts and further activate our souls together. So for all of the beauty, all of the awesomeness, and all of the love that is already present, knowing that there is so much more, I simply release my word as law, knowing that tonight's Elevate is a beautiful, brilliant, luminous success. So I release, I let go, and I bask in this beautiful, harmonious flow as together we say, and so it is. So let's just breathe and drink that in. Allow that gift of music and love to infuse itself in every fiber of our being. And so I invite everyone to receive a big, nourishing, cleansing breath in and release. I invite you to open your eyes if you haven't already. Just take a moment. And now I invite you to acknowledge the band. So beautiful, Pablo. Tell us, please, what that was.
It's a jazz standard ballad. It's called Blame It on My Youth. Mm-hmm. I have to check on the composer, but maybe Kelby was Carl Levan or something like that. But I'll send it to you. So yeah, beautiful ballad.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a gift every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. All right, so moving on to our brand new theme. And you know what, before I say anything, Maggie, when I chose this image, it reminded me of your salt and blossom ceremony. So our theme is kaleidoscopic. And when this theme came to mind, it came to mind in a conversation that Kelby and I were having about, hey, what could the theme possibly be for October, and what kind of music do we want to look at? And we kind of did it backwards this time. We started looking at the music first because the theme just wasn't presenting itself. And then during our conversation, this is what landed for me. And when I mentioned it to Kelby, he's like, oh, wow, I just wrote a grant for something called, what was it, Cultural Kaleidoscope or something? Yeah. So then it was like, okay, what's the affirmation? And so this is the affirmation that came. I live in a kaleidoscopic field of infinite potentiality where every shift in awareness reveals more opportunities to embody the awesomeness, beauty, and love I truly am. And so I really like this one. I want you to really like it too. So I'm going to ask you to stand up. A little bit of indoctrination happening here, but stand up so you can start to feel this in your body, all right? Read it, sort of take in whatever it is that is speaking to you in this affirmation. Just take a moment. And then I invite you to wide stance, chest open, kind of like a superhero, Wonder Woman, whatever. We're going to take in a deep breath, and then I want you to declare this like you mean it or like you're at least curious about it, okay? So here we go. Deep breath in. I live in a kaleidoscopic field of infinite potentiality where every shift in awareness reveals more opportunities to embody the awesomeness, beauty, and love I truly am. Nice. Go ahead and sit down. I see some nodding heads. Already it appears to be resonating with some people. So this is our new theme. It's October 1st. We have 31 days to lean into this, okay? So right now, even though it's brand spanking new, I'm thinking there's at least 1 or 2 people for whom this is already stirring something up. And so I would love to know who would like to share just a little bit of something that's coming up for you regarding this theme, the affirmation, whatever's going on up there. Who'd like to be the first person? Oh, I heard a come on, Dale, but Stephanie's got her hand up. That's for Stephanie.
Okay. So what stood out for me in this, even though there's all these amazing words in there, is where every shift in awareness reveals more opportunities. And what came up for me is in my spiritual growth, as I'm on this path, this amazing path of learning, when I see the kaleidoscopic, I just think of colors, and because there's so many colors. But to me, the window into the world is from all views. And what I'm noticing in my growth is that every time there's a shift in my awareness, I see something new that creates more love in myself and in who's in front of me and in the world, even though the world can be not looking like that. And so that's what it brought up. I love this. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's so nice to have you back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. So awareness, shifts in awareness, I have to say that's a big chunk of that for me too. I'll talk about that more in my talk, but yeah, like the more aware we become, the more aware we become of who and what we are and who and what everyone and everything is around us. And so it would only stand to reason then that there's more opportunity to give love, to receive love, to be the love that we are, no matter how, we're experiencing life at the time. So thank you very much for that. Dale. Not to put you on the spot. Winnie's putting you on the spot. Is there anyone who would like to offer something? Okay, awesome.
It's good to be back after about a year or so. Thanks, Winnie. Okay. Yeah, shift in awareness. Like throughout my whole life, I've done various things to get greater consciousness and stuff. And I'm doing all this fasting and 1 meal a day stuff, and I'm getting this interesting different perspective on life and stuff. And so it's really cool to see this as well from the mental side. That's it.
Okay, fantastic. More awareness building. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Well, we have an entire month to lean into this theme, to lean into this affirmation. And so I invite you to do exactly that. And maybe next week, or if you're here on Sunday, you'll want to share something that's coming up for you. So in the meantime, next slide, please. It is time for the feature tune. So Kelby, what is it that you've chosen and why?
Well, this is a tune. It goes back, so when Lesia and I were talking, she was saying, we got something that kind of, it's a little peppy, but also kind of talks about transition, awareness, sense of where you are and where you could be going. So this is a song by George and Ira Gershwin from the mid-50s. It's called I Was Doing All Right. Maybe it's like, when you're eating 3 meals and then you go down to 1. You're like, I thought I was doing all right, but now I have a change in perspective. I hope you enjoy it. And we thought we'd do a little cha-cha-cha just because why not? I was doing all right. Nothing but rainbows in my skies. I was doing all right till you came by. Had no cause to complain. Life was as sweet as apple pie. Never noticed the rain till you came by. But now, whenever you're away, can't sleep nights and suffer all the day, I just sit and wonder if love isn't one big blunder. But when you hold me tight, tingling all through, I feel somehow I was doing all right, but I'm doing better than ever now. Doing all right. Pablo Cardenas, nothing but rainbows in my sky. I was doing all right till you had no cause to complain. Life was as sweet as apple pie. Never noticed the rain till you came by. But now, whenever you're away, can't sleep nights and suffer all the day. I just sit and wonder if love isn't one big blunder. But when you hold me tight, tingling all through, I feel somehow I was doing all right. But I'm doing better than ever now. Better than ever now. Better than ever now. Better than ever now.
The Elevate Trio, Pablo Cardenas on piano, Peter Dowse on electric bass, and Kelby MacNayr on vocals and drums. Thank you, gentlemen. Woohoo, what a treat. All right, feel free to go ahead and take a load off. Okay. Back in the saddle. Thank you. All right, so what I want to, actually, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Winnie. So what I actually want to focus on today is not the monthly theme, the super amazing monthly theme that I just introduced, but our yearly theme. Does anyone remember what our yearly theme is? Yes, thank you, Stephanie. And that's why you're a board member. Here to thrive in 2025. And actually, if I thought of it, I would have put the slide up. But if you read the newsletter that went out this morning, then you would have seen it. Anyway, so this is what has been coming to mind for me for the last few months, because as some of you know, at the end of June, I was in a collision. And that experience has informed the last 3 months. And so when it first happened, I kind of thought, oh, fine, I'm just worried about the truck, just want to make sure that, like whatever. And then over the course of the week, the pain, the whiplash, the concussion, all the things kind of happened. And even then, I'm like, oh, it won't take that long, couple of weeks, whatever. And here we are 3 months later, and it's my really first time back here in 3 months. And so in the last 3 months alone, there has been a lot of time for me to be with things that are happening, especially in my brain, that I feel like I just can't help. And a lot of it has been this incredible surge of emotion, of mental anguish is the word that is the most perfect word for what I was experiencing again and again and again. Anguish coming out of every single cell in my body, seeping through every single pore, and really, really focusing here on what I feel is like my third eye. And so going through all of this and experiencing it again and again and again, day after day, sometimes several times per day, was a really exhausting way to be. And for someone who has spent so many years in consciousness studies and working so diligently and committedly to showing up as the love that I truly am, to really being more intentional about the choices that I'm making, to be more mindful from one now moment to the next now moment, so that I can actually experience the most engaging, fantastical life that I can experience, and I can be the best version of me that I can possibly be and continue to get better and better and better. Well, it was a real challenge these last 3 months to seem to be stuck in this incredible experience of anguish, of overwhelm, of memory gaps, of feeling like I don't have control over my emotions. And the struggle for me was because it didn't align with all this amazing stuff I learned in all of my New Thought studies. Because I'm like, spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, that is my number one tool to feel better, to move energy, to support myself, to support someone else. And I just couldn't access it. Meditation, couldn't access it. Any kind of mindfulness was so incredibly challenging because all I was feeling was pain and this like doom and gloom of despair. And yet there was that in me that knew that this is circumstance, that this is experience, that this is not who and what I truly am. And yet this is what I kept feeling. This is what I kept experiencing. And so I kept thinking, oh my gosh, like here to thrive in 2025, it's more like here to survive in 2025. And so it wasn't until a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, that Glenn and I were in our Tuesday night group, our Noticing Ninjas group that I've talked about before. And one of the women in there was telling us about this book, this author that she discovered through a coach of hers called John E. Sarno. Anyone here familiar with his writings? Okay, so I've read one book of his so far called The Divided Mind. He was a medical doctor, he's not around anymore, a medical doctor who focused on physical rehabilitation. And so really focused on the physical body, the symptoms that someone was experiencing, and dealt with those symptoms to try and help people to get better. But what he discovered throughout working with these thousands upon thousands of patients was that it wasn't the physical stuff that required attention, that there was something inside the mind that was getting in the way. And so when I heard this thing that he was talking about, it kind of clicked for me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is me. This is what I've been experiencing. This is like the missing link for me. And so what he found was that every single physical symptom was rooted in something psychological. Every single symptom could be traced back to not just the subconscious mind, but the unconscious mind. And I know there are some therapists and counselors in the room here. I see some of you nodding your heads, so great. I'm saying the right stuff. But anyway, so there's this unconscious part of our mind that we are not aware of. Okay, there's our conscious mind that we're using right now to be aware, to communicate, to think, to receive, whatever, to experience. And then there's this unconscious part that kind of like, I sort of like to think is like really buried deep down and it's kind of vaulted shut, right? Well, here's the thing. Every single one of us has this in our mind. This is a part of our mind. And just because we're not aware of what's going on there, doesn't mean what's going on there isn't going on there. And so what I came to realize was that the three main things that John Sarno talks about that is in the unconscious mind that will get in the way of us being able to experience life using our conscious mind alone is that there are these epic emotions that live in there that will never ever mature. They're like tiny little angry toddlers that will always be throwing a temper tantrum. Rage being the number one, okay? There's also things like goodist perfectionist tendencies, and there's things like narcissistic tendencies. And they're all there, and we all have them within us, but we're just not aware that they're kind of lurking in this vaulted, thing down in the depths. And so what happens is, because these things are so epic and so all-consuming, the ego decides, without our permission, that the conscious mind can't handle what's going on in here. And so it's going to cause the brain to create distractions for us so that we don't have to concern ourselves with this. And those distractions, that dis-ease in our life, end up being things like injuries, end up being things like dis-ease, disease, illnesses, crashing a truck into a stone wall. That's what I did at the end of June. And if you don't attend to this, the brain is going to keep causing different distractions until you pay attention. And so when I heard this, I was like, oh my God, because there are anecdotes in this book that might as well be my story. There's a story about someone crashing their truck. There's stories of people injuring themselves at the gym. There's stories of people doing medicine journeys and not being able to integrate. And I'm like, were you 12 years ago when you wrote this book, peeking in on my life kind of thing? And so it took me back to this entire year that I experienced, where at the very beginning, I went through this ceremony and I had this incredible, amazing experience in ceremony and had these super amazing insights about life is hard, which was this fundamental belief that had been sort of running the show that I wasn't even aware of. And then I had this incredible, amazing experience of being pulled apart completely and discovering that life is hard was this tiny little tender toddler that had been shoved aside because I thought with my conscious mind that there was something wrong with it, that there was something bad. And so that entire experience for me was, oh my gosh, life is hard. Come and be seen. Come out and play. Come and be loved. And in that experience, I actually got to hold life is hard, me, and tell life is hard, I love you. I love you so much. I see you. The experience was great. And then the integration was tough. And what ended up happening, because there were so many other things going on, was this bout of depression ended up happening. And all the things in my life that were going on that I was having such a hard time navigating, burying these things that I wasn't even aware of, ego trying to take care of me by distracting me with other experiences, this just kept pushing against the barrier, the door, whatever, trying to come out and be seen and be tended to. Injury after strain. There's something that John Sarno calls the system imperative, which is you can fix one symptom, but if you don't deal with this, you're going to get another one. You don't deal with this, it's going to get worse. You don't deal with this, it's going to get really, really bad until you pay attention. And so I finally got to pay attention. And reading this book and hearing about this guy and hearing about the rage that was in here, it saved me because I realized that for almost 2 years, while working here, there was this incredible amount of rage that I was holding on to because I didn't draw boundaries for myself. I didn't advocate clearly enough what I needed to feel good, to feel supported. And because I didn't advocate, how is somebody supposed to guess? How is somebody supposed to read my mind? And so I would get angry, but I would bury it. You know, New Thought is so much about focus on the positive, focus on the life affirming, in spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, turn away from the condition and focus only on the truth. That is great, and that is exactly what we want to do, but sometimes life can feel hard, and it feels like it sucks. It feels like it's not the way you want it to be, like Stephanie was talking about in her share. And so if you know that there is more to life than that you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings, you are not your beliefs, you are not your experiences, sometimes it's not enough to know that because there's all this stuff lurking here. And one of the things that I experienced a few months ago was doing a 9D breathwork journey that was a sacred rage journey. And in that journey, when it comes to the primal scream, it was so intense, it was so cathartic, I thought I was going to vomit up a lung. But after that, especially because I hosted that journey, facilitated that journey at the chiropractic clinic where I used to work later on that evening, when I was lying on the chiropractic table and getting a treatment, Dr. Christina said, in the 5 years I've known you, I have never seen your neck this aligned. What did you do? And I said, I breathed the journey that you're about to breathe. And it was because I let go of all of this rage I didn't even know was there. And so what this made me think of is there's a line in a song by Leonard Cohen that I'm sure everyone here or most people here know. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in, right? And so the title of my talk today is, There's a crack in everything. And for me, when I hear this, I mean, I've heard this so many times, but for me, what I feel like, it's not about the light getting in, it's about the light coming out. Because the light is there. We are that light. We're all of it. The rage, the narcissistic tendencies, the goodist perfectionist tendencies, the light, the love, the beauty, the compassion, the harmony, the creativity, the wonder, the infinite potentiality. We are all of it. And as we become more aware, we grow. And then we cannot remain in the container that we were in when we were less aware. And so we have to crack, we have to break so that the light that we are can shine through. Right? Yeah, okay. And so this is what I have been going through and mulling over, and I'm so grateful for this book, The Divided Mind, because that was a real shift for me. Because no matter what I did with my conscious mind, no matter how many nervous system reset tools and exercises I did, I just couldn't access this sort of alignment that I was so desperately looking for, knowing it would come eventually, but the impatient patient in me wanted it yesterday. And so to know that all of this muck and yuck is within us all the time anyway, great, like what a relief. Like I don't have to try and not be that, right? It's just a part of who I am. And because I am part of a New Thought community, because we are here gathering together to celebrate the love that we truly are, even though all of that was happening, even though I literally felt like I was losing my mind for so many weeks because it just felt like my brain wasn't working, there was still that in me that knew. And when we know who and what we are, when we anchor ourselves in truth as we grow in awareness, then the resources, the people, the lessons, everything that we could ever possibly require reveals itself to us as we're ready. So, thank you. And so I want to go back to our theme for the month. I live in a kaleidoscopic field of infinite potentiality where every shift in awareness reveals more opportunities for me to embody the awesomeness, beauty, and love I truly am. Every single moment we are choosing, it's up to us to choose mindfully and intentionally and to become more and more aware so that we can actually anchor ourselves in this truth, one of the pillar statements on our VTC values compass, that we live with the certainty that love is our true nature. Thank you, and so it is. Okay, and so now it is time for some conscious connection and just talk about one thing that came up for you during that talk. Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you for engaging the way that you did. I didn't overhear anything, but it really looked like people were connecting. Amazing. Thank you very much. All right, so we are going to move right along. And before we go into our generosity affirmation, there's some lovely blessings and affirmations for you to take for yourself. You are beautiful, Winnie. All right, so when you pass the box along to your neighbor, please close the lid so that they can see how beautiful they are, okay? Thank you. And you can keep them. You don't have to put them back. Add them to your collection of what? I don't know. There's been like 80 by now. So, yeah. Okay, so now is an opportunity to tune in to how you're feeling right now compared to what you felt like when you walked through the doors. How are people feeling right now? Yay, a lot better. Fantastic. Energized. Yeah, I can say that for myself too. So there are a whole bunch of things that people could be feeling. There's still some conversation going on over there. So connected. People are feeling more connected. Anyway, however it is that you are feeling, then this is an opportunity to know that this is a feeling that comes from what it is that we're cultivating here, and that's community, right? Community, an opportunity to come together to celebrate the love that we are, to champion each other as that love that we are. And so if you would like to experience more of this, if you would like to support this kind of thing happening with the Elevate Trio, then this is your opportunity to be generous of spirit. If you would like to contribute financially, there are a bunch of ways to do so listed on here. If you would like to commit some of your time, then that's another way that you can help to build community. There are a bunch of clipboards on the back table there that have different committees. We have Tiffany, who's new here, she went out of the room, but she was a greeter today. Thank you, Tiffany. So we now have 2 greeters on Wednesdays. Yay! And I want to give another shout out to Denise, because I saw the garden in person, really paid attention to it for the first time in months today. It's so beautiful, Denise. Thank you. What a welcoming thing to experience when you come up to VTC. Anyway, so however it is that you're being generous of spirit, I invite you to place your hand on your heart, and let's declare this generosity affirmation together with enthusiasm, okay? Here we go. In gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive. By embracing generosity with enthusiasm and delight, I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly. And so it is. And so I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze for just a moment as we allow that generosity, that feeling that we have of what giving does to us, to simply appreciate. And as we lean into that appreciation, as we become more grateful, more thankful for this opportunity to give, to shower who and what we are into our community, I am so grateful to know that every single cent, every single moment, every single ounce of commitment that is offered, every single ounce of generosity that is offered goes out into the world to heal, prosper, and bless. And so as we lean into the love that we truly are, as we live with the certainty that love is our true nature, what a blessing and what a gift it is to be in community together. So for all the love that is present, for all the love that is always on its way, I simply say thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is. All right, now more thank yous. This is what it took to keep Elevate going for a month when I wasn't here. So I want to say thank you to the speakers that we had. We had Reverend Thomas come down from Nanaimo, our very own Sherry Hauser, our very own Sherry Morgan. The music, of course, the Elevate Trio, and John Mossy joined in. The facilitators, Kathy Chamberlain, Sherry Hauser, Leslie Black, who also ended up speaking on a Sunday. Tech, Glenn Sheridan, the love of my life, and Elijah Bell, who's not here today. And then greeter, and now I get to put a second person under there when we have more. So Denise and Tiffany, and then laptop operators Kevin and Stephanie. Thank you very much for clicking or operating the laptop. There are so many people and so much energy and devotion that goes into bringing Elevate to you, to this community, for us to enjoy every single Wednesday. And so I'd like to invite everyone to stand up. I'd like to invite the musicians to come on back. And we're going to love each other up right now. And here are our 3 statements that we're going to say together, okay? Here we go. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for your commitment to VTC. All right, give yourselves a hand. Thank you very much. Go ahead and sit down. So, how can you become more participatory? How can you help us grow community? Well, guess what? There's a whole bunch of ways you can volunteer. There are some of them right here. Help set up before Elevate. Help us tidy up after Elevate. Help to greet like Tiffany and Denise do. We could use more greeters on a Wednesday. And then promote Elevate, which there are people here who do such a good job. Winnie, Stephanie, Maggie. Those are 3 that come to mind that seem to know like everybody in the world. So thank you for everyone who keeps bringing friends, everyone who keeps coming back. Oh, this is how community grows. All right. If you or someone you know is in need of prayer, then there is a little box in front of the silver bowl over there that has some prayer request forms. Just write out your request. It'll go in there. It comes to me, and then our VTC prayer team will treat for you and or yours affirmatively. Okay? It is time to close us out. So I'm going to ask everyone to stand up again. We're going to sing our tune Elevate to the tune of Circulate by Karen Mitchell from California. All right, so this is a call and response, not a call and echo, a call and response. So you guys have a certain melody that you're singing. You're going to follow with Kelby, all right? And we're going to get our groove on again. This is how we go out tonight. All right, here we go. Elevate my love right now, I elevate my love.
Elevate my love right now, I elevate my love.
Elevate my love right now, I elevate my love.
Elevate my love right now, I elevate my love.
Woo! And
It returns to me, multiply abundantly.
elevate my joy right now, I elevate my joy.
Elevate my joy right now, I elevate my joy.
Elevate my joy right now, I elevate my joy.
Elevate my joy right now, I elevate my joy.
Woo! And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly.
Here we go.
Elevation, it's across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond. Elevate my gift right now, I elevate my gift.
Elevate my gift right now, I elevate my gift.
Elevate my gift right now, I elevate my gift.
Elevate my gift right now, I elevate my gift.
Here we go.
It returns to me, multiply abundantly.
All right, everyone, bless your neighbor for the week. Love each other up a little later, but we got to close it out. Elevate my love right now, I elevate my love.
Elevate my love right now, I elevate my love.
Elevate my love right now, I elevate my love.
Elevate my love right now, I elevate.
All right, let's bring it home. And it returns to me, multiplied, abundant. Oh, 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 oh. Amazing! my gosh, thank you. Another Elevate at the Victoria Truth Center. Thank you so much for being here in person, online. Thank you, Elevate Trio, Pablo, Peter, Kelby. Thank you to the community. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad you're here. We'll see you next week for my birthday. Guys.